and we are live. Why, hello there. Happy Friday. Is it a happy Friday, gentlemen?
Pretty happy for me.
Yeah, that's because you're a hater. You're a hater, Brodny.
I was saying just because I was off work. I was pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I was not off work. I was not happy about that. What's going on, everybody? Chris White could not wait to get in here with the eye emoji. Says it must be August. You know it. You know it because we don't do 2 shows in a week.
No.
Unless it's football news. And football news has dropped. Today is the deadline. The deadline has passed for Lamar Jackson to get a deal done with the Ravens, or vice versa. The Ravens to get a deal done with Lamar Jackson. And of course, they failed. Okay, they are failures. They failed. They didn't get the deal done. A major L to the Baltimore Ravens, to Eric DeCosta, and Steve Bisciotti and all of them. This is bad, right? We're kind of making it lighthearted. This is not good. This is not good. And John Harbaugh was out there saying, yeah, we're going to get the deal done, and he'll be a Raven for a long time and all that nonsense. Maybe, right? Maybe they still get the deal done. Maybe they work it out next year. But make no mistake, this is not good, and this is not a sign of a top tier organization. All right. So,
well, you forgot to do one thing in the open, that is introduce our guest who we have here with us.
They know Hendo.
Not everybody. All right. We're joined by our guy, Ravens Online Ungatekeeper.
We have to introduce the crew now. This is what we're doing.
This is where we're at.
We introduce Derek every Wednesday.
That's Brodny right there. About? This is Brodny.
We introduce Derek every Wednesday. Anyway,
what's up, Hendo?
What's going on? Thank you.
Ravens Online Ungatekeeper. Make sure you subscribe to.
Indeed, Mama, we made it.
Look, Don. See,
I'm just putting this. I don't even know what he talks about, but I'm just putting that up there because that's just reality, and we just gonna leave that up for the rest of the show.
What's reality?
Hold
on, wait.
Brodny was right all along.
No. Wait, first and foremost,
I want to see this one. See, he says Jose, Brodny, and Hendo. What's up, guys? He knows Hendo.
What's going on? What's up, dog? Hey, Brodny, why didn't you jump on just Aloe for spelling your name wrong?
Because just Aloe.
Because anybody when the crew does it,
because he called it with the word right. So he's like, well, that makes up for it.
Okay. I don't know why you act like that.
All right. Hendo is our guest. Okay, so we're gonna Hendo, give us your thoughts. How do you feel about the Ravens failing to sign Lamar Jackson? Zeta B says, Black History Fact: Lamar Jackson is the youngest MVP ever. We are doomed.
Yes.
How do I feel? Listen, I'm very disappointed. They got my anxiety up. I've been waiting for this deadline to see what the Ravens are going to do and to see if they truly value Lamar. I don't think that they do. As Ravens fans, you know how they come out the woodworks when it comes for a player that they love, and everybody loves Lamar. When it comes for them, time for them to get their money, they turn on him. And all day long, all I've been seeing is he don't deserve this, he don't deserve that. Lamar's made $32 million in 5 years, and he's brought this team back to relevance. So he deserves whatever he wants, in my personal opinion. But I'm not happy about all this.
No, I agree. Look, man, listen, man, there's no other way to cut it, right? Like, if you're a top-notch organization, you have to get this deal done. Every other top team has got their top quarterback, locked up for the foreseeable future, and they're doing that, and they're surrounding those guys with weapons because they're trying to win right now.
Without any real issue, also.
No issue at all, right? We didn't hear anything about Josh Allen's contract dragging out. We didn't hear anything about Kyler Murray's contract dragging out. Russell Wilson just got his deal done. Pat Mahomes, that came out of nowhere. That was the biggest deal ever in NFL history at the time, and it came out of nowhere. Right? There was we had to chronicle the days that they're talking to him and his agent or anything like that. Everything was played out in the media for Lamar Jackson. And I just want to remind people that all these guys, except Russell Wilson, all these guys were drafted higher than Lamar Jackson. Right.
And I want to just throw something out there real quick as well, since you're mentioning Russell Wilson, and a lot of Ravens fans keep on going with Lamar was just trolling on Twitter. He's not going anywhere, blah, blah, blah. He's Lamar. He wants to stay in Baltimore. Russell Wilson did the same thing with Seattle, giving them a deadline to give him his money, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they did, but clearly the relationship was not the same. And Russell Wilson he's playing the Seahawks, but he's not going to be wearing a Seahawks uniform on Monday, right?
Not only that, like he wanted a certain amount of money up front too. He was just like, you need to have my 100 million or whatever. It was a high amount. He's like, you need to have my money by this date. Okay.
Yeah.
And they said, okay. Ravens are just like, no, we need right player, right price. Eric L, what's going on? Shout out to you. Thanks for coming through.
What's up, right?
Let's get a couple shout outs here. Let's get a couple shout outs. Mr. Jada6 in the house. There's 2 days in a row. No. This is Friday. This is Friday.
I was on earlier.
Yesterday.
Yesterday. So that's 3 days technically.
That's 3 days for you, Brodny.
Yeah, 3 days for me. JP says, "What up, fellas? What's up, JP?
What's up, Jake?
Coming through. Let's see. Danity says, "We here. YouTube didn't give my notification." I set it up kind of quickly, right?
And YouTube be hating.
And shout out to Danity because Danity was the one that kind of got this whole thing rolling because
don't be
hit
bad
on Twitter. I was at work. B said, "Hey, Danity wants a live stream." I said, "You know what? As soon as I get off work, let's do it." All right.
That's that is the one time that will work. I don't want any notifications going on talking about, hey, you guys going live? No.
What's going on? Tracy says, "Hey guys, I'm so disappointed with the way Ravens mishandled this whole situation and have treated LJ with all he has done for us. I 100% agree."
Indeed.
Blunts and Otters. Okay, shout out to you. Says, "You guys need to hear what Richard Sherman said." Oh, I heard it. He called EDC a straight coward. Now, okay, I'll correct you a little bit. He didn't call EDC himself a coward. He said the way GMs treat players with no agents, cowardly, and essentially lazy. And he's right, because what he's saying is there's a narrative out there that it's not, it's bad business to deal without an agent, to deal with the player directly, because players get emotional and they don't want to hear these hard truths, what the team might say about them and whatnot, and it gets messy. But the reality is, not only did the team, like the GMs, they get emotional too, because most of them aren't professionals. But Richard Sherman was just saying they know that they have to treat that person with respect when they're talking to them face to face, as opposed to dealing with the agent who they might be buddies with, and then go out drinking, and then they can say whatever they want to say, whether it's disrespectful or not, and it stays between them, and then they get a deal done. But that's not professionalism. And if we're going to say we have a top-notch organization, if we're going to say EDC is a top-notch GM, that can't be a barrier. That can't be something that's keeping them from getting a deal done, because you don't want to say what you really feel to Lamar in a respectful way.
And I don't like the way. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. Go ahead.
No, I don't like the way that they always frame this like, oh, the athletes won't be able to handle it, when they're the ones who are in the public eye far more than these GMs. Like EDC doesn't deal with the media and the fans anywhere near as much as Lamar Jackson does. No, you don't wake up every day to EDC trending. He doesn't wake up every day with thousands and thousands of mentions and people talking about him, talking about his money, talking about whatever, what he's doing, what he's not doing. He doesn't have to deal with that. So why would Lamar Jackson not be able to just have a one-on-one conversation with him?
Yeah, I think it's actually better for him to represent himself to an extent, because when those GMs come back with all this criticism of the player, Lamar can fight back and say, listen, you've not surrounded me with any kind of talent. You've stuck me with an offensive coordinator that doesn't maximize my skills. He's blown it time and time again. So he can rebuttal anything that ownership says back to him. So I think this is a positive, especially for Lamar.
I think, and that's why they don't want to have that direct negotiations with Lamar, right? Because you're dealing with the person that you're directly affecting in this whole thing, right? Because I'm sure if there was a agent there, what they would say is, hey, look, he ran this many times, he didn't take this many hits. I don't know if he's going to hold up, all the narratives that they've been putting out there. I'm sure they would say it to a agent. But if you're telling it to Lamar can easily say, well, you're calling the plays for me. I'm not asking to run that many times. You're calling the plays. So let's fix that. How about you don't call so many run plays for me, right? But then it's well, you know, are you saying you don't believe in his passing, right? Okay, you don't believe me as a passer. Cool. Then let me hit free agency and go get somebody that you believe in. Oh, well, you know, we don't want to do that either, right? Because like B says all the time, they don't believe in Lamar Jackson as a passer. But what I also say is that it's not just about Lamar. They don't believe in themselves as an organization. Because if you have somebody that you don't really believe in, but you're afraid to let him walk, what's that say about you? Right? You're okay with him carrying the team on his back, but you don't want to pay him and you don't want to show him that, you know, put that faith in him, but you don't want to let him walk away either. Right. That means you're scared, and you shouldn't. And if you're scared, if you don't believe in yourself, you shouldn't be in that position.
100%. My question is, okay, so let's say Lamar gets into the season and he balls out. You didn't just play with him absorbing $23 million from the cap, which limits you from making moves. If he goes in and balls out, we win AFC North, we get to the title game and so forth, his price is going to go up even more. So what are you going to do next year? And then if you franchise tag him, of course, it's right now it's at $45 million, and that's still with Burrows and Herbert still on board. So that $45 million is going to go up, and that $48 million cap hit is straight hard cap. Like, that's money you can't use for other things. So you're just painting yourself into a corner, because the better that he shows, and I know that they hope that he fails in what he's doing, so they can say, see, this is why we didn't give you that money. You need to take less.
Well, that's the thing that you mentioned right there about, hey, if he has a great year, you know, he's going to want even more money. I think he's going to want more money regardless. Just because. But the interesting thing about that is, Jose and I talked about it earlier, the way they have put this team together, he doesn't need to have a great year. If they make the playoffs or you know, even close to making the playoffs, what are you going to say? Like, there's no real Super Bowl expectations for the Baltimore Ravens with, you know, Devin Duvernay and Demarcus Robinson, with your two edge rushers on the roster, with your questionable O-line where you're starting a guy, you know, at left tackle, possibly who has never played left tackle. You got Ben Powers, who nobody believes in. You got Tyler Linderbaum, who's a rookie. So they haven't put together a team that you would expect to make a deep playoff run in a loaded AFC. So if they have, you know, even a decent year, if they, you know, they just go out there, they make the playoffs, maybe win the division, what are you going to say to Lamar?
Right. Let me read a couple of comments here. Shout out to King 95. Says, my guys, hey, appreciate you coming through, man. Thank you. Our guy Buck is in the house. Says, let's see if Lamar gambling on himself works out like it did for Aaron Judge. First of all, I'm going to throw the flag on that for bringing up a baseball. All right.
Thought he was going to sneak it in.
We weren't going to notice.
Plenty of players have gambled on themselves and won. So it's not even something that's new. And that's a easy bet. That's an easy bet. He's going to win. He doesn't have to play great. Everybody keeps saying he has to play great. No, he can play just all right. And they're going to have to give him the money. Right? There's no risk whatsoever. Shout out to Black Daniel. Says LBHT crew, man. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for coming through. And we got a donation. Oh, shout out to Anonymous for a $25 donation. Appreciate you. Says you. Ravens show their true interest of Lamar Jackson. I think there's a lot of ego involved. I think this is the first time that they've had to deal with somebody with no agent and just really sticking to his guns and saying, look, you're going to pay me what I want or no deal. There's no wiggle room, right? I think that's what's holding him up. That he's not budging from whatever number he set. And they always think that they can come in under market value. Make no mistake, Ravens always say right player, right price, and they want to say that they give fair deals. They don't give fair deals. They always want to come in under market value, right? Yeah. The market value is Deshaun Watson's deal. You don't have to like it. But that is the market. And he's a better quarterback than Deshaun Watson. So you're going to have to pay him. Doesn't matter how you feel about it. That's what it is. Hey, look, I hated the fact that I woke up this morning and it wasn't Saturday. Like it shook me to my core. Okay. But I still had to get up and go to work.
Right.
You might hate the fact that Deshaun Watson reset the market and look, you might have to pay your man $250 million guaranteed. Now you might have been expecting $180 million. but we're here now, and you have to do it. Right? If you don't do it next year, it's going to be more.
Hawk TV or the Hawk TV says making a deal that compensates him and allows the team to make adjustments to his eventual deal when it's time for his teammates to get paid. That is not the comment that I was trying to click on. Okay. My bad, Hawk. What's up, Engraven?
What's going on?
Shout out to you, Hawk. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. 51 people in here. Hit that like button if you're new. Hit that subscribe button. Shout out to Engraven Videos. Engraven Vid says, "Oh, my guys in here having the conversation. You know it. Been waiting on this one." Okay.
Oh, sorry.
No. Go ahead.
The Hawk said, "Isn't hearing scrutiny from the media different from hearing from those from your own organization whom you're trying to broker a deal with?" I wanted to respond to that. Yes, it is different. But my point was that he's much more used to dealing with criticism, harsh criticism, than EDC is. So, it's a different scenario, but he's in the spotlight 100% of the time. Yeah. He's being talked about 100% of the time. He's getting these questions. He's out there, hearing fans call him a running back, say he can't throw. He's hearing all that all the time. So who do you think is more likely to get upset in a conversation where you're speaking hard truths? I think it's going to be EDC.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. Like the emotional part of it, when they make it one-sided, the media always makes it one-sided. Oh, well, the players don't want to hear those, those hard truths about themselves, but the team doesn't either, right? Because that's when Lamar can say, look, let's just be real. You haven't done a great job drafting, right? Like, I mean, that's honest. EDC has, and that's being nice. He's done an awful job. And I've backed EDC up to this point. He's done an awful job. Yeah. Lamar, you haven't done a good job drafting. Look how many people come and go out of here. Right? You didn't get a deal done with Hollywood, my number one target. You didn't replace him with anybody, right? You brought somebody in off the street, and he has the most yards out of all the wide receivers that are here, and you're asking me to make that work, right? You're not spending money on anybody. It's not like it's one of those things where you're saying, "Hey, help us out so we can sign some other players." If Lamar right now, if his asking price is $275 million guaranteed, why couldn't they do that? Who do you have left to pay? Right? We're going into the season with two edge rushers, not even two starting edge rushers. We're one starting edge rusher because Justin Houston is not a starter.
He's not.
Right? We're going on our roster, two edge rushers that are healthy. One that's maybe a starting caliber if EDC got that one right. Okay. So you're not even as we don't even have a full roster now when he's on his rookie deal. So what are you spending your money on, right? So Lamar can say that. Like, you haven't been doing a good job putting this team together. John Harbaugh, Dan Show had been doing a good job as a head coach, and we know about Giro, right? Like, he can say all that stuff, but yet I still hold you down. So therefore, I'm worth it. I'm a top 5 quarterback in the league. I'm a top 5 running back in the league. I need to be paid accordingly. I'm always the leading rusher for this team every single year. If you're not going to give the workload to J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards, I got to be the main ball carrier every time. Pay me on both sides, right? You can say that too.
Yeah, it's the same argument that Le'Veon Bell made a few years ago. Hey, I'm the top running back in the league, and you throw me the ball like I'm a top receiver in the league. Pay me like I'm both. No. But running backs break down, and they don't have the longevity of quarterbacks. So Pittsburgh was just like, no, and then Le'Veon is fighting Adrian Peterson in a boxing match coming up here. So it wasn't really an issue for them. And you got another special guest.
Hey,
yes. Hey, yes, we got another special guest.
Hey,
hi,
say hi.
Hey, hi.
Hi. Are you gonna watch Encanto?
Yes, we got 20 more episodes today to watch, I guess, since she just got here. Okay, go back to Nanny. Go back.
Someone is not afraid of the camera at all.
Oh no, she's listen. You should see her when Encanto comes on. She acts out the scenes.
Wait, hold on. Josh Hoffman. Shout out to Josh Hoffman, man. I know it's football season when Josh Hoffman. Kimberly Hartman came back to the show. Josh Hoffman is here back in the chat. You know it's starting the football season. He says, wait, Jose back at EDC when? Compared to Brodny, yes, he was the number one fan. Oh, listen. I've always said I like EDC, right? I never say he did a good job. I always said I think he's going to be a good GM. Right now, he still has to prove it. That's what I've been saying, but I still believe in him. I believe he'll get the job done. But up until this point, he hasn't done a good job at all. That's just the facts, right? And I don't want to hear any more excuses. Oh, well, it's Bisciotti that's holding him back. Oh, well, Harbaugh has more control. Whatever, man. You're in the position. No excuses. You're not drafting well, right? Is that Harbaugh's fault, or is that your fault?
Well, listen, he could argue it's Harbaugh's fault, right? He's like, hey, I am drafting well, and they don't know how to coach.
Well,
okay, then fire your coach. Then.
Well, I told you, B. That's gonna be the ace in the pocket that he's gonna hold on to when it comes down to Monday.
When they're in a meeting, the two of them and Bisciotti, then it's
it's not me, it's him.
Listen, he's got two aces in his pockets. One, he can say, hey, look, man, I look at all the draft picks that we've had. Okay. It's definitely, it can't be me. It can't be me, right? And shout out to Tracy. Give me 1 second, Tracy. I'm gonna read that comment for you in a second. Oh, let me read it now. Ravens showing arrogance and will pay the price. Appreciate you, Tracy. Thank you. Yes. But he has that, and he also has Ozzie Newsome, who is still in the house and helps with the scouting, right? So it's not he can never go. He's never gonna have to go into that meeting by himself. It's not, hey, I'm not doing a bad job. It's we're not doing a bad job, right? You're not gonna say Ozzie's doing a terrible job scouting. Me and Ozzie are just missing on all these players. How was that possible, right? That's what it's gonna come down to in the end, and that's why EDC is gonna keep his job and John Harbaugh will be gone because Ozzie's still in the building. If Ozzie wasn't in the building, he'd be toast.
EDC gonna be there, and they're like, I drafted Lamar. What do you do? But all right, so just a quick question for you guys. So a lot of everybody's talking about what should Lamar accept, what is he worth? Hey, you're not going to get the Deshaun deal. That's an outlier. All this stuff. So I'm looking at the top 10 contracts in terms of guaranteed money.
Okay.
Deshaun Watson, $230 million. Obviously, that's the outlier. Kyler Murray at 189.5. Russell Wilson just came in at 165. Aaron Rodgers at 150.8. Josh Allen at 150. That's the top 5. And notice the escalation, even if you take Deshaun Watson out of it, right? Because Aaron Rodgers was what, last season that he signed that big deal that gave him the
no,
50,
it's this offseason.
This offseason.
Yeah, earlier this offseason. So that was 150.8, and Kyler Murray just signed at 189.5. So that's almost it's a $39 million jump just in the space of this offseason. But when people talk about Russell Wilson, they talk about Kyler Murray, and they say, hey, all these teams are signing these guys to regular quarterback contracts, right? They're not following what the Browns did. They're not going fully guaranteed. They're not going that high. But my question to you is, Kyler Murray, not an elite quarterback, right? I think we can all agree on that. He's not even a second tier quarterback at this point. He hasn't shown that. He's at 189.5. Russell Wilson has been a great quarterback for a long time. Won a Super Bowl, but he's 34 now, and he got $165 million to buy his decline. Yes. So if $165 million buys Russell Wilson's decline, and $189.5 million buys a third-tier quarterback's, prime, what is Lamar Jackson's prime actually worth? What do you think?
It's going to be $250 million guaranteed if they're lucky, right? Because I don't think he was asking for $250 this year, right? It's probably around 200 or close. It might have been close to 250. Maybe it's, hey, all right, Deshaun Watson getting 240, give me 230. I don't think he asked for more than that. But even if he did, whatever. If they get him at 250 next year, they'd be lucky. I think it's closer to $300 million guaranteed next year. That's why all these teams jumped to give these quarterbacks the money so quick, right? I mean, Kansas City was the first to do it. They're like, my man, how would you like $400 million over 10 years? right? And as soon as they said, yeah, they giggled, right? Like, I can't believe he took it, right?
Yeah, 450. He's he's 192 million past anybody else in total value.
Yeah. So I mean, they understand what that cap's going to do next year, right? They know it's going to just explode. They know that all these other quarterbacks coming in, your Burrows, your Herberts, what have you, are going to make a whole lot of money. And when Josh Allen's next deal comes up, and whatever, like whoever's these young quarterbacks, their deals come up, it's going to be ridiculous. So they're trying to lock these players into long-term deals now, and they're giving them a whole lot of money. It seems like a whole lot of money right now. It's not going to be that way next year, in the following years, right? The NFL, I read it somewhere, their goal is by, I want to say 2026. I want to say about 2026 that each team is bringing in $1 billion in revenue. That's their goal. Okay, like these TV deals, Apple just got, they're getting the NFL. Right now, you have Amazon, you have all these companies that need content, and they're just paying a bunch of money to the NFL. This money is nothing for them. So for the Ravens to play cheap with not their money, by the way, what the players get paid, that salary cap, that's the players' money, right? So for the Ravens to be cheap with that, I mean, it's arrogant. It's shameful, right? And it just goes to show you that one, they're lazy, they're being lazy, and they're being unreasonable. Like, I don't care if you ask for $250 million, pay the man. You have nobody. There's nobody else on the team to pay. Like, I don't care who it affects. I don't care if it affects Mark Andrews. He can kick rocks. I don't care. What's Mark Andrews without Lamar Jackson?
Rocks anyway. You got Isaiah Likely.
And I like Mark Andrews, but I'm just saying, like, Mark Andrews ain't gonna carry this team nowhere. I don't care about anybody else. I don't care about anybody else. Sign Lamar Jackson and make it work with the rest.
Yeah. So Hendo, same question to you. What do you think the prime years of Lamar Jackson, the top 5 quarterback, like they said, top 5 running back in the league, are worth?
Before his impassioned speech, I was going to go with 250, but but he's right. He's worth $300 million guaranteed, because he does everything for this team. Before him, we weren't relevant. We lacked the fan base. Like, we have a whole new fan base internationally because of Lamar Jackson. Then, if you think about it, this past year, the NFL led all of Major League Sports with an $11 billion profit. $11 billion in revenues. Mm-hmm. The salary cap is going up exponentially next year. And that's why, as he said, these other teams are rushing to get these quarterbacks signed to long-term deals, because once that salary cap goes up, there's no longer going to be an excuse of, well, we can't give you this because you're going to eat up too much of the cap. All these things are changing. The revenue's going up, the money's going up. It's just that the Baltimore Ravens have a hard line that they don't want to cross. They feel like, with their ego, listen, if he doesn't want to take what we'll give him, we'll go out and find somebody else. We made Lamar. We put this system in to benefit him. They think Lamar is a star because of the pieces that they put around him. They didn't realize that he was a star before he came in. So coaching, organizational hubris has them really believing that they can do this all without him. And Tyler Huntley having the preseason that he had, it gives them a little bit more confidence to kind of stick their chest out and say, hey, if Lamar doesn't want to be here, we have other options, because if we can do this with him, we can do this with Tyler. So I say $300 million right now, but once the salary cap and the monies go up, he might be worth even more guaranteed.
I hope the people in charge of the Baltimore Ravens didn't look at Tyler Huntley's preseason and say, oh, we got this. Because at that point, they didn't? At that point, you could just look at Anthony Brown and say, oh, my God, we don't even need Tyler Huntley. We don't even pay him either, right?
Anthony Brown's going to be the backup.
Ravens last year, they took a step forward in the passing game, but I'm scared it may have just been due to injuries and not necessarily by choice.
We couldn't run.
Once again, I clicked on the wrong one. This is the first part of that. I don't even think we've gotten to truly see Lamar Jackson's prime yet.
We have not.
But will we? Because this staff seems like they may continue to limit him. I hope they don't. but, and then the second one that I already read.
So,
no, I think he's right that, you know, you haven't seen the best of Lamar Jackson, even though he did win MVP in his second year. Greg Roman he's not the worst coach out there, but he's not a good coordinator, and they are limiting him. And of course, we haven't seen the best of him because he hasn't had the support in order to show the best of him. Every top quarterback, I mean, almost in league history that you can think of, has a top wide receiver along with them. You know, and a lot of them also have a top tight end, but they all have that number one wide receiver that the teams bring in to grow with that quarterback. You know, and the few examples that you can really think of are the black quarterbacks. Like, you know, Donovan McNabb never really had that. Cam didn't really have that. But, you know, throughout the history of the NFL, especially since it became more of a passing league, all the top quarterbacks, the teams go out and they get them those high-end wide receivers. They haven't done that in Baltimore. And so, yeah, we haven't seen the best of him. We've seen that he's the best open field runner in the league. But that's not what he wants to be. That's not what you want him to be. You know, that's not what fans want him to be. That's not what's going to get you where you want to go. But they just refuse to take the necessary steps to really push this team forward.
And I want to give a shout out to Yolanda, who's in the house. Appreciate you coming through,
Yolanda. What's going on, Yolanda?
I saw you sneak in here. Black Daniel's in the house. Yeah. Shug is here. Shug says Ravens fans miserable right now. Makes me happy. Shug is a Steeler fan.
He's a Ravens fan.
And make sure you, yes, he's a closet Ravens fan, y'all. He has a Ravens show, in fact. Okay.
Doesn't he?
So you go subscribe, Suge Knight 323, and he will talk, you know, 90% Ravens, 10% Steelers, because you know they're not that interesting. But yeah, go subscribe. Okay. In fact, if you want to see these gentlemen, some more of them, they were on his show last night after the Bills and Rams game. So make sure you go subscribe to our guy Suge. But to kind of address what Gray was saying about the passing game, I don't think it took a step forward. Like, we increased our passing numbers due to the fact that we just couldn't run the ball, right? It didn't look good, right? Like it didn't look good. Like, just because you pass more doesn't mean like you improved. I just think, yes, they were forced to throw the ball more, and it just looked awful. Nothing looked good without Lamar there.
They were losing.
Yes,
they were losing, so they had to throw the ball.
Yes, that's the other thing, right? Man, will they do more this year? I don't think so. I think now that Lamar is not signed, there's a lot of pressure on everybody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because if they don't have a good year and Lamar ends up going somewhere else, right? Now it's just like, well, why do we need? Like what are we going to do with Harbaugh? Like what are we going to do with Greg Roman if we're trying to bring in another quarterback, right?
I think the first question they say is, what do we do with all these tight ends?
Yeah,
these running backs.
Right, because if they go for a true pocket passer, a classical quarterback, if you will, right? Then all of a sudden it's like, oh man, we got this line. We got to fix this line.
You heard it here first. Joe Flacco coming back to Baltimore.
Listen, okay, let's say Joe Flacco comes back to Baltimore. They're gonna look around and be like, yo, why is Duvernay out there with the ones? Why is he? What's going on here?
When Harbaugh and Greg Roman are out of the building, the fog is going to clear, and Eric DaCosta is going to say, "What the hell kind of a roster is this? Who put this together? Why are there 6 tight ends in this room?"
He goes like, "Coach, come here. Hey, big dude over there. What's his name? Ricard. The D tackles are over there. Why is he running with the tight ends and wide receivers? What are we doing here? You know."
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shout out to Nitro. Nitro says Harbaugh just signed a new deal. He is not going nowhere. Nitro,
False.
let me school you real quick, son.
False. You must not know.
Let me school you real quick. Let me tell you how Harbaugh got here. Okay.
Exactly.
His predecessor said the same exact words. Okay. I just got a brand new deal. Bisciotti just took over. Bisciotti said, "Hey man, I'm going to keep this guy. He's not going anywhere. I'm going to honor the contract. Then they went out there in week 16 to a winless Dolphins.
Yep.
And lost. And Bishotti said, hey, come to my office, bring your contract. All right. Got him up out of there. All right. And hence we have John Harbaugh. That contract means nothing, my friend.
1 year into the deal.
That don't mean anything. He'll rip it up right now if he had to. Yeah.
I mean, Gary Kubiak was under contract to the Baltimore Ravens when he became the head coach of the Denver Broncos, wasn't he? Like, coaching contracts don't mean anything.
Here we go. Shout out to Shug. Shug said wanted to stop by and show support to Lamar for not signing with the Ravens. He says he should sit out. He should sit out and teach these Ravens a lesson. Is what he meant to say. Shout out to Hendo, Caleb, Garnett, and Brodny for a great show last night. And B, you streaming 4 days straight. I like it. Okay. All right.
Nah, this is the worst.
It's a good look.
Hey, appreciate you, Shug. Appreciate you. What's up, Tanja? Tanja in here. Tanja says this budget-built team will be nothing without the threat of Lamar. He is the only quarterback that can do anything with this offense because of the threat that he is.
No, I mean, listen, if you can find a way to go back in time and get prime Mike Vick, you'll be all right.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Troy is in the house. What's up? Troy says it's sad that the Ravens didn't pay Lamar. They haven't gone out and gotten him a one wide receiver. Every other top quarterback has one. Yeah, we just watched Stephon Diggs just roast Jalen Ramsey. Jalen Ramsey is the best cornerback in the league, and he roasted him. Right?
Consistently.
Like, so much so, I was wondering why is he throwing it to anybody else? Like, it doesn't matter who's on him. Like, he's going to catch it. You know, we have nothing like that over here. Nothing.
No, just Mike Vick could throw. Early on in his career, he didn't try, but Mike Vick could throw. He had an incredible arm.
That he did, especially in Philly. He came back and he showed you, like, listen, I don't have the speed or the athleticism I once had, and he became a quarterback. Him and Deshaun Jackson, they was out there doing some things.
Yeah. 70 people in here. Make sure you hit that like button. If you're new, hit the subscribe button. I should have mentioned this earlier, but we came in hot. Okay, we came in hot. We are streaming live on YouTube, Twitch, and we back up on Facebook. All right, so go ahead and hit the like if you're watching any of those channels. Also, go ahead and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok at LBHTShow. And if you're wondering how are these people getting those awesome animations right next to Jose's face right here, how are they doing that? That's how we do our super chat. Okay, there's two ways we do that. One is right next to Hendo, $ LBHT show. That's the Cash App. Right there. Yep, other way. There you go. Right there. That's the Cash App. All right. Also, the other way is that pin link that you see in the comment. It is not spam, ladies and gentlemen. It's not spam. What you see in the chat box will take you to our stream elements. Okay, both ways. You leave your donation, leave your comment, and you get that animation right next to my face. All right. I appreciate everybody that's been donating. Thank you very much. C Dubster, what's going on? He says, what's up, fellas? The reason I like listening to you guys talk about the Ravens and Panthers is your perspective is way better than the so-called major media. I appreciate that. Thanks. They all repeat the same thing they hear. Yes.
Thank you, C.
I appreciate that. And look, I'm not even mad at mainstream media for doing that. Like they follow a formula to get ratings, and they do things that they think are going to get you to click on it and all that stuff. But I just don't want to talk about that. I don't want to do that. Right? B doesn't want to do that. Like that's not, Handle doesn't want to do that. We want to give you real conversations. So I'm glad that you enjoy it. Appreciate it. All right, what we got? Man, you guys have a lot to say here. Marco G says plot twist. What if Bishotti wants to give Lamar 200 plus guaranteed, but other owners are pressuring him not to? You know,
quit being a punk.
I don't know any billionaires, but here's one thing I do know about billionaires: they do whatever they want to do. They do whatever they want to do, and there isn't anybody that could tell them otherwise. If he wants to pay Lamar, it doesn't matter what his other billionaire buddies say, right? Like, do you think the Haslams care what anybody says about Deshaun Watson?
Not at all.
They don't care what you think. They don't care what their friends think. They don't care what other players on the team think. They said, "Man, that guy. Did you see him throw? You see him throw? But man, how many women? Just settle it. Just settle it. Okay.
Can he help us win games?
Right.
Can he bring us a title? Yeah, bring him on in.
Billionaires do not care. Steve Bisciotti does not care. This is just about his own ego. That's what's getting in the way. Z to B says, let Lamar have 500 passing attempts with less design runs. He would be the greatest player ever. I stand on it. Hey, I feel you, Z.
Yeah, as long as there's somebody there to catch him.
You always got to rain on the parade.
But
this is a fact right here.
I wasn't done, but you are absolutely right, Z.
This is facts right here, Josh. He says, if billionaires could bully billionaires, Dan Snyder wouldn't be an owner. So I'll go with that. I agree. Facts. All right, man. Look, we got a lot. We got a lot to discuss here. Nitro says even Jalen Hurts was a great wide receiver. Tragic.
Yeah, he got two.
He got two.
Devonta Smith and
AJ Brown.
And he still has Dallas Goedert. Weird, because I heard from Ravens fans that if you get the tight end, then you don't receiver's not a thing anymore.
Man, how many of you guys
saw a pass catcher?
All right, how many of you guys saw the game last night?
Oh no.
What?
I'm sorry, Anonymous. I set this up like 10 minutes ago and I forgot to hit submit.
Oh, shut up.
I'm so sorry.
$15.
I'm so sorry.
$15 donation says, should Mr. Jackson start thinking about life? What did it say?
Life after Baltimore.
Yes.
Of course. Look. This is the last year of the deal, right? They didn't get it done. So obviously you have to think about that. Like, both sides may honestly want to get the deal done, right? And maybe they feel confident, hey, after the season, we're going to make this happen. We'll tag them or whatever. But nothing is guaranteed. We don't get deals done. Nothing's guaranteed. So he has to start thinking about that stuff, right? I know the Ravens. I know everybody's thinking, hey, they had the franchise tag. They can use that. Lamar's not going anywhere. You think the Ravens, who don't want to give up any guaranteed money, want to have $45 million on their cap next year, right? And another thing that Richard Sherman said, he tweeted out, he said, hey, look, I hope he waits until the start of the season to sign that tag, because if you tag somebody, right, the cap automatically hits, right? That money automatically hits the salary cap as soon as you tag them. They don't have to sign the tender. That money is already going to hit. So Lamar has until week 6 or 7 to sign a franchise tag. Any
longer than that, you have to show up for I believe it's 6 games for the season to count.
Yeah. So in theory, if they tag Lamar and Lamar wanted to be petty, he could say, "Yeah, I'll see you in week 5 or 6, I guess." Right? And
that brings us to this.
Okay. He said, "We're back. What is Mr. Jackson's possible next moves?"
Thank you very much for the tip.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Possibly sitting out until week 10 or 11.
I don't think he'll sit out, but I do think, and this has nothing to do with whether they tag him or not, or him being petty. He is going to wait. If they tag him early, but they have until a certain time to tag him. Yeah. But he's going to wait until Burrow and Herbert get their deals done, and that's what's going to hurt this team. Is that he'll do the same thing that he did this past season. He won't even give them an opportunity to talk to them. He'll just say, no, we'll wait. Right. I gotta wait to see what my new number is going to be. Just hold tight. And they're waiting. And, they're going to say they wanted to make moves, but, we got all this money tied up in this franchise tag, but he won't care. And if I'm Lamar, I wouldn't care either, because you haven't shown the desire to bring in anybody else up to this point. So I don't care about next year's free agency market either, right? Mm-hmm. But he's going to wait until those guys get signed, and then he's going to give them a number.
I can't believe what I just read from my fellow Panthers fan.
What's up, Mr. J? He says Brodny slipping like EDC thought process. Oh,
wow.
That hurts, Jay. That hurts.
But that's one move.
Goodness.
The other move, look, everybody's pulling out Miami. But to be honest, if he's available, it could be anywhere. It could be Tampa, right? Because Tom Brady, you know, he's 50, right?
It could be Atlanta.
It could be Atlanta. It could be New Orleans,
Detroit.
It could be anybody. It could be anybody. Philly. We were just talking about Philly.
Washington.
I mean,
it's about 20 teams out there that could use his services.
He could go anywhere, and they will all find the money. You think everybody's saying, "Oh, he can't ask for that much. That's too much." Let him hit the free market. Let him hit free agency. You'll find out. Nobody thought that Deshaun Watson, of all people, would get that kind of money. Yeah, here we are.
And he was in the midst of already $100 million deal.
Yeah,
and got even more money.
They did that knowing he'd be suspended for most of the year. They expected him to be suspended for the whole year. That's why they structured it to where he's only getting $1 million this year. And they're like, we're cool with that. They're cool with him carrying a $50 million cap hit next year. They're like, yeah, so what?
It's like 55 not next year, every year of his contract after this year.
And I just want to say something else, right? I just want to say something else. Okay. Shout out to the gatekeepers, right? Shout out to the gatekeepers. I understand there's the other side of this. You know, I'm not going to question anybody for giving a different perspective or having different opinions on this. But do not let any gatekeepers tell you not to feel the way you feel. Okay. Not to worry about it. Oh, they're doing things the right way. And look, and there's somebody out there, they mentioned the Browns cap. There's a few people, right? There's a few people that have mentioned that about, Deshaun Watson's deal is going to take up about a fifth of the salary cap next year. So what? They have the talent. They have more talent than we do. So I don't care if it took up half the budget. They're making do with it. How much of the salary cap is Lamar's contract taking up right now? And what do we have to show for it? 2 edge rushers on the team. That's yes. Hendon, we got 2 edge rushers going into week 1. One of them is Tom Brady's age.
We got 1.5. Because Justin Houston cannot play a full game.
No,
what are we gonna do there?
Well, listen, we got those special teams inside linebackers that we just added.
You got all them corners. Why do you think you got all them safeties and everything? Blitz. That's
right.
what you're gonna do.
This is what you do with a rookie contract quarterback.
Right.
Listen.
Like Nitro pointed out, the rookie contract in Philadelphia got them Hassan Reddick, Rondé Smith. They got AJ Brown. They made use of their time with Jalen Hurts. Baltimore was crying poverty.
I mean, it's true, Yoli. It's true. But yes, listen, Lamar made $9 million in his first 4 years in Baltimore. Who did we really put on this team? We brought in Marcus Peters and Calais Campbell. I mean, we really didn't do much. We could have spent that money a little more wisely. And then I like to hear people say, "Oh, well, if Lamar takes up so much of the cap, what are you going to do?" Well, the Bills signed Josh Allen to an extension, and they just re-signed Stephon Diggs to a contract, and they paid Von Miller $140 million. So don't tell me that you can't finagle the salary cap and make it work.
And they have Gabriel Davis and Jamison Crowder and Isaiah McKenzie and James Cook and Devin Singletary and Zach Moss and the number one and Dawson Knox and the
Poyer.
Dawson Knox.
He's mad Dawson Knox right now.
And the number one defense in the league. So the question isn't how are we going to do it if we pay Lamar? The question is why do you think EDC is a good GM still?
I don't think too many people in this chat believe that.
Everybody else can do it.
Right.
But not Baltimore.
Yeah. Filthy wants to know if Carson Wentz doesn't work out in Washington, how y'all feel about Lamar going there? I was going
to say, I hope that wasn't going the other way. How you feel about Carson Wentz coming to Baltimore?
I would hate that even more.
Listen, I need Washington to lose every game they play ever in life. I don't want Lamar going there.
Listen, I don't think I could bear that. I'm right in between Baltimore and DC, right? Like I know a lot of Washington fans. OTR Quan is a Washington fan. right?
Sorry for him.
I mean, if they were even talking to him, my phone would never stop ringing. Okay, Jose, yo, we talking to Lamar. We talking to Lamar. You about to get him.
I feel pretty good about it. I mean, I'm still a fan of Ron Rivera. I like him. He's a
I like
good
Ron
guy.
Rivera.
He's a good
I can't
guy.
stand the organization, and I don't like their fans
At all. At all.
I'm still pulling for Ron.
Or their city.
Tyler says facts. I always say that Lamar got the cheapest rookie quarterback deal. They could have made an Olympic team around Lamar by now. $9 million for 4 years. Ridiculous. Yeah. So yeah, at this point, I don't care how much of the cap he eats up.
Right.
Like I don't care. Like you had 4 years to do something with it. You did nothing with it. So talking about what you could have done, when you tag him next year, oh well, if he signed a deal, we can get some players. They're never going to do it. They were never going to do it. So give him the money.
I just can't with Ravens fans, man. EDC got double-digit picks every year, and y'all got 2 edge rushers on the roster. Y'all got 2 edge rushers on the roster. So, you got 1 guard can play. You got no backup tackles.
So listen,
by choice. This isn't. We're not 7 weeks in the season and man, just some freak accidents and we're just short on edge rushers. They chose to draft a hurt edge rusher.
Yep.
Right. They chose to do nothing else there. Right. Like I understand. We have one person that's still hurt. Bowser that's coming back from last year. Everything else is well within. They said no edge rusher. Let's go with 7 middle linebackers. Right. Let's go about 12 safeties.
Right.
We don't need edge
safeties.
So and listen, but listen, this is even worse. So even after final cutdown day, at that time the Ravens had 11 offensive linemen. We had 11 draft picks, and we got no backup left tackle, no backup true left tackle. Yeah. With 11 offensive linemen, we have no backup left tackles. We're always trying to convert somebody from one side to another or move them in position. Like what they do just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't. They've fallen into that mindset of, hey, let's see if we can find a deal. And I know that Carolina did that after they found Jake Delhomme. He was on the Saints team for a little while on their practice squad, and they picked him up from there. And it's like, wow, man, you got, because Jake Delhomme, I mean, obviously not the greatest quarterback of all time, but he was very good for a period, and he got them to the Super Bowl and everything. And so you get into that mindset of like, well, we just found our franchise quarterback on somebody's practice squad. So we don't really, maybe we're just smarter than everybody else, and we don't actually have to pay like other people do. They picked up Mike Remmers off of, I believe it was the Rams practice squad. He was the starting right tackle in the Super Bowl, and why they lost. You just keep on, you get into that rhythm of just, hey, gonna look for the bargain, gonna look for the diamond in the rough because you found them once. You're never going to do it again. The Ravens, they like to hang around and wait. Like something will come to us, something will fall to us, something will pop up for us, so we don't have to go out there because it happened with Elvis Dumerville that one time.
First of all, let me give a shout out to KDB Moore. Shout out to KDB Moore for coming through, man. Thank you for joining the live stream. Says Lamar chasing 250 or 300 mil guaranteed. I agree, 100%, 100%, and he should get it. Now to your point, B, on Wednesday's show, I compared what they're doing with the team to buying fast food, right? Mm-hmm. Like that's what eats up most people's budget because it's quick, it's cheap, it's satisfying in the moment, and then you had nothing to show for it at the end of the month, right? Empty calories. But another analogy I want to give you, because when you said they're always looking for a bargain, because I get these texts all the time, the Amazon treasure truck. Okay, that's what they do. They're getting Amazon treasure truck deals. Okay, because man, you get that text like, man, this rice cooker, 50% off, right? $25, and they're gonna bring it to my house right now. Let me go ahead, hit buy right there, right? You get yourself a rice cooker that you use, once or twice, right? And you're just like, wait, where did my money go? Oh, I bought a rice cooker. Oh, I bought some bath bombs because they're only $12, and I mean it came right to my house. Well, I couldn't say no to that, right? I bought
reusable gold chopsticks.
That's what they do, man. Like they have no discipline. This organization has no discipline. If they see a deal, they jump on it.
Absolutely. Right? Like you're you get the buy one get one on the ice cream at the supermarket. You get home and then you're like, but you're lactose intolerant though. Like what are you doing?
Listen, anytime Harris Teeter has a buy 2 get 3 free deal. Like, it's an ice cream party. I'm sorry.
Like, listen, they had Chuck Clark, right? Who was a starting safety in Chuck Clark.
Yeah.
They went out and they signed Marcus Williams.
Right.
Then they went out and they drafted Kyle Hamilton. And I still, Geno Stone went out in the preseason and was playing well, right? Brandon Stevens, they drafted in the 3rd round in the safety.
Right.
And I still hear Ravens fans say, man, how could they cut Ardarius Washington?
Right.
What do you mean? What do you mean how? It's like right. It was like, what is it? The day after the draft, we were like, Sean Wade's not making this team. And everybody was arguing with us. Like, no, Sean Wade can play. Like, it doesn't matter if he can play. You have 85 corners. He's not making the team.
Right.
But they can't help themselves. You got Pat Ricard. Why did you draft Ben Mason? And then why did you bring him back? You just extended Pat Ricard. What are you doing?
Do you think we know? Do you think we really know Brodny? We don't know what we're doing.
Mark Andrews. You got Nick Boyle. You drafted Isaiah Likely. You traded for Josh Oliver. Why did you draft Charlie Kohler?
Man, I really thought Tyler Batty was gonna make it, man. I know we got 8 running backs, but man,
I thought he was gonna be the difference maker.
They're like Danny Ainge. They like collecting assets and doing absolutely nothing with them.
Hey, it's my friend Antonio. Shout out to Antonio. Hey, I know this man since high school, man. Hey, appreciate you coming through. Says, I just care about us getting the ring now. That's it. Point blank, period. I care about that too, Antonio. But did you watch the Bills last night? Listen, I'm gonna be rooting for them. And if you watch this show every week, I don't ever pick them to lose.
Listen,
I don't know.
Hold on, listen. Did you see? So they had 4 turnovers.
Yes,
and still did that.
And scored 31 points and won by 21. Yeah. And it's funny because when you're a fan of a team like Baltimore, and I know this because I'm a fan of Carolina and we have the same issue. When I'm watching the Panthers, and this is for years, I'm just like, why? Like, why doesn't the pass game work? Like, why? The receivers are running into each other. They're running the wrong routes, they're dropping balls and everything. And then anytime you watch any of the other teams, it's receivers running free all day long. And it's like, why does that not happen here for my team? And the answer, it's not Greg Roman. I mean, it's in part it's Greg Roman. It's a little bit of Greg Roman. But the answer is your receivers suck. That's it. Just you have to embrace that. They're bad, get better ones.
Yeah.
What?
They're bad, get better ones.
What? Tyler Wallace? James Prochet? Devin Duvernay?
Yeah.
All that I heard that these young dudes are about to come in here and cook and show everybody what it's about. What do you mean?
And then everybody said, "Oh, thank God, DeMarcus."
Yeah, they did.
A few weeks ago, it was trending on Twitter because somebody put out this article about how the Ravens, they do things unconventionally because they don't pay for the premium positions; they pay for the non-premium positions, and they go against the grain, and that's what keeps them competitive all the time, right? But what people didn't realize is they do it on both sides of the ball, right? Because they don't care about edge rushers at all. And they're going to find out next year. They don't care about corners either because Marcus Peters ain't coming back. All right. I like Marcus Peters. It would have been done already. They would have already gotten that deal done. True. He's in the last year of his deal. That's another thing that they're not talking about. He ain't coming back. They don't want to pay him. They wish they can rip up Marlon Humphrey's deal. I'm sure, you know. They just don't like spending money. That's all. They just want to win bargain deals and say, "Oh, we did it again, guys. Look what we did on a bargain." You know, everything top 10 says, "Am I the only person who thought that EDC should have faced the media today?" Yes, to read the nonsense that on that statement. Sorry for that language. No, you're absolutely right.
Yeah,
go face the media and talk to them. You guys decided not to sign them. Address them.
But and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier, right? Because Lamar has to face the media whether he wants to or not. And EDC can be like, "Nah, I'm not doing that." So you will accept it and you will like it. So. It's not slander when it's true, by the way.
So somebody posted on social media today. What other organization has put out a statement stating that they didn't sign their franchise quarterback? Who else has done something
by the deadline imposed on them by said quarterback?
Listen, right. that was everyone remain calm memo. Okay, that was yes. We know E. coli's in the water, guys, but we got it under control. That's what that was.
Yeah,
same thing. Probably the same media team that wrote that.
Yeah, just boil the water.
Hey, you ain't got to do that no more. They ain't found no more E. coli. It's all good now.
Yeah,
apparently.
Yeah.
They just, it came. They had a day pass in Baltimore. It's gone now.
So they really think Juice Man's leaving.
I put that thought in their head. My bad.
I know, but
I was thinking about that. I was just like, he ain't coming back.
He is leaving, and you're drafting a corner in the first round next year.
I believe you.
Yeah, that's the Baltimore right the way.
But if Yolanda's mad that Marcus is leaving, you can be real mad when Marcus and Lamar leave. You can be very highly upset.
That depends. You can be really upset, or you can be really happy about your new team.
Or your second team. You want to be loyal? Be loyal. You just pick up the second team.
Because I promise you, whoever sends 5 first-round picks and whatever else to Baltimore for Lamar Jackson is going to get a number 1 wide receiver, and then they're going to get another one, and then they're still going to get him a top tight end.
Yeah.
And that's after they build the O-line and give him a top run game.
Miami already has that.
I want to reach out to my boy Antonio, right? I don't want to scare you away, Antonio, right? He says the mentality of the Ravens is what keeps us in this situation. Yes. You're right. Like it's that we can do more with less type of thing. We're a grinded team or whatever. And I'm not saying that we can't win this year, right? With Lamar as quarterback, we can go all the way, right? Mm-hmm. That is a possibility, but we shouldn't be putting all the pressure on Lamar Jackson. And if Lamar Jackson isn't on this team, what does it look like? We know what it looks like because we didn't win without him, right?
No, they won once without him.
They won once. Yeah. They won one game against the Bears. What?
That we almost lost.
But then we lost like 5 in a row, right? Without him. So you know what this team currently constructed is like without Lamar. So, I mean, we can't. I mean, are we expecting them to win? No, of course not. Like you can hope and take it week by week and feel somewhat confident going into games, saying, "Hey, we're going to be competitive at least. Maybe we won't win. We're going to be competitive," and just hope that everything lines up for us. But we don't have the firepower of those other teams, and those other teams, if their quarterback goes down for a game or 2 or 3 or whatever, like a lot of those teams can weather that because they have enough talent around them to sustain it, right? It's not all in one person, but for Lamar, it's everything.
Yeah.
Even if running the average quarterback, if we brought in Carson Wentz, somebody mentioned Carson Wentz. We brought in Carson Wentz. What are you gonna do here?
So Big Reg, I'm gonna throw some pro Shea logic at you. He caught every one of his targets. So I don't know what you mean right now.
I would love to have Allen Robinson on this team.
Look, I haven't gone back and really paid attention to Allen Robinson himself. I would venture a guess that Allen was just fine. Matt does not like to throw to anybody not named Cooper. Mm-hmm. And you saw why.
And Stronach, because he looks like Cooper.
And Higbee, because...
Yeah.
He said Cooper Kupp got exposed. How?
How? Right.
Exposed as yes, he really is that good.
Right.
What was his stats? He looked pretty good to me last night.
And not to mention 3 passes, he was wide open, and Matt Stafford overthrew.
In fact, I was like, yo, B, like, how does he keep getting open when everybody knows he's one of the top wide receivers in the league? How does that happen?
Mm-hmm. Questions Ravens fans ask right there.
Filthy said he's nothing without another big play / deep threat guy on the opposite side.
That is wrong. That is
100% wrong.
So false.
What?
My man had 13 catches for 128 yards and a touchdown last night.
And he got exposed.
On 15 targets.
What wide receiver on our team has done that? All right. What's up, Keenan Ricketts? Says, yo, what's good, LBHT? Hey, thanks for coming through, my friend.
What's up, Keenan?
Big Red says, wrong. He was targeted twice with one catch.
Oh, did they throw one in his vicinity late? Yeah, because mostly through the game, but that's all right too. You know,
still better than what we got.
James only caught 1 of 3 his first year. So
JP said, last person I want to bring up tonight is Prochet, but you brought him up. There he is.
You put it in the atmosphere. Yeah, we got to talk about it.
See, Duster says, after all Lamar has done for the Ravens on the field and all the revenue he has generated for the team, it's still no deal. They don't deserve him. And I can't disagree with that.
It's not even about money, though. It's about, like you said, it's about ego. It's about letting this little dude without representation come in and get the best of me and looking stupid out to the public. I'm a billionaire. I can't have this guy coming from South Florida up
talking like he talks, looking like he looks.
I didn't want to say that, but yes, it's essentially. So it's not even about the money, because Lamar has made them so much money over the last 4 years. He brought us back to relevancy, even just the playoff money that he's brought. Because without him, we weren't going to the playoffs.
Listen, some people just don't want to accept the fact that you're smarter than them or that you've outsmarted them, right? They took his kind demeanor, you know, his hood talking, you know, lingo and you know the way he dresses, he acts, you know, his hair, like they took all that. Hey, you know, raised by his mom, you know, like they took all that and thought we could take advantage of him, right? He's going to cooperate with us. We'll get this worked out, no problem. And it didn't go down that way, right? It did not go down that way. When he first said he's going to represent himself, I bet they were like, yeah,
got him.
Nah, yeah, no, that's no problem. We're going to work this out. We're going to take care of you.
Williams situation.
And when he wouldn't pick up the phone initially, and they freaked out, like, what's going on? Like, what's going on here? And he's just like, hey, man, I'm just waiting, you know, just waiting for my market value to go up. And once that value went up and he gave him a number, they were furious. They'll never tell you, but they're like, damn, he played us, right? That's how they feel. I bet you they feel like they've been betrayed, right? They're like, yo, how can he do this to us? You know, don't we're trying to look out for him, right? And if there were an agent involved, or you know, it's somebody else, and they still wouldn't like it, but they would accept it. But because it's Lamar, they don't want to accept the fact that, man, we just lost out to this dude with no agent, because they know that's what's going to come, right? Yeah. He did all this without an agent.
Yeah, because you know his third year he made what, 900,000. Last season he made $1 million, and I'm sure they came to him and was like, yeah, if we offer him 34 mil, he'll take it, because you know it's a significant raise from what he was making. It's no way that this poor little ghetto boy is going to turn down all of his money. And Lamar was like, aha, I got something for you. He knows his worth. He's bet on himself his whole life, and he knows that he's one of the top 5 players in the league, and he should get paid as such.
Yeah. All right, Cam the Baptist, shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. Says, I love it. Lamar proved them wrong. They have to get out of their ego, or it'll be their downfall. Pride comes before the fall. I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
Absolutely.
All right, we got about 70 people in here. Yeah, about 67 here on YouTube. We got a few people over on Facebook. Okay, hit that like button. Okay, like us on Facebook. Got a couple people on Twitch. Go ahead and follow us on Twitch. We're trying to get our Twitch numbers up. I think we're up to like 13 now. Oh, let's go.
Better than my one.
We're going to work on that. We're trying to build across all platforms. So wherever you're watching, we are on YouTube, obviously, where most of you guys are watching, Twitter, Facebook, Twitch. All right. When we get some more followers on TikTok, we'll go live on TikTok as well. All right. We'll start doing some IG lives every now and then too. We did one once before. That wasn't bad.
So awful.
Well, I had best. It wasn't awful. It wasn't too bad. All right. We'll read a few more comments and we'll get up out of here. Man, you guys are passionate about this. Dandy says, emphasis on hood talking. Yep. Mm-hmm. Every other player conforms to football talk and start changing their accent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when you get with the agent, when you get with the publicist, they tell you, this is what you want to say. Yeah. Shout out to Anonymous for a $15 donation. I appreciate that. Says Mr. Jackson play in Baltimore in 23 or 24.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still think I still look, despite all this, I still think he ends up signing here. It's going to be for a lot more money. And it's going to be just like when Flacco signed his deal and they're going to say, oh, well, we couldn't afford anybody else, right? We couldn't afford anybody else. That's why, because we had to give it all to him. They're going to try to use that excuse, but it doesn't matter. It's not going to work this time because you never put anything around him. Right. Not once did you put anything around him. So nobody's going to care about that. They're going to be like, you did a bad job then, you're doing a bad job now, right? But he's going to get his money begrudgingly, but he'll get his money. But
you thought they would have learned from the first time because with the Flacco deal before the Super Bowl, they were like $2 million apart. And once again, they didn't really believe in Flacco as a franchise quarterback. But if you just gave him that $2 million, you could have saved yourself the hassle of paying him that $120 million.
To be fair, they were right that time, though.
but B, if they'd have just signed him before that contract,
but you still had to save money. Yeah,
right. It'd have saved the money. They didn't learn.
But that's the main thing. That's why I say what they've done now is a failure. Right. I don't care how you feel about them as an organization. They failed on this one big time. That's why it says in the thumbnail, major failure, because they had a set number. They don't want to go above it. Right. They're standing on principle. Mm-hmm. But everybody knows you're going to go above it next year. You have to. Yeah. Like there's no getting around it. Like there will be no discount next year. Right. And you don't believe that either because you wouldn't be trying to sign him now. If you didn't think he was going to perform well, you wouldn't be trying to sign him to a big deal. So he's going to have a good year. The cap's going up. He's going to ask for is going to go up. So why didn't you get it done now? Right?
Yeah.
What's up, Attitude Pop says, what is going on with Ramsey? Is he in a slump and Kupp is the best wide receiver in the league? Ramsey's not in a slump, man.
Listen, he's playing against great receivers. Now, what happened with Diggs, he let Diggs go by him. He wasn't even trying to cover him.
He was looking in the backfield.
And they say, oh, he thought he had safety help. And I always say that's not an excuse to not cover your guy. True. But he didn't cover him. He didn't excuse me. I won't say that he got beat on that play, right? But Diggs is a phenomenal route runner. He's a great receiver. You're not going to be able to cover him, all game long because the league doesn't want you to cover these receivers all game long. That's why you're not allowed to be as physical as they used to be. And even going back the last few games, over their playoff run and everything, you're playing against great receivers. And also, what happened was T. Higgins, may have cheated a little bit, but it's whatever. All right, they didn't throw the flag, so touchdown T. But Jalen Ramsey is just fine.
Yeah, you got to realize that these wide receivers get paid too. They get paid $28-30 million a year for a reason. So you can be the top cornerback, you're going to get beat. You can't stop every pass.
Yeah. And as Dion pointed out, because I guess he's given up like 4 long touchdowns in his last 6 games or whatever. But that was after 65 straight of not giving up a touchdown over a certain number of yards.
Right.
Jalen is fine.
Yeah. Let me read this real quick. Shout out to Mapega. Is it Mapega? Everything top 10. He says, for the fact that I was budgeting to come to the USA to watch football, Ravens in particular, for the first time from South Africa. Shout out to you. Now just going to France to watch PSG. Hey, shout out to South Africa. Hendo has a follower on his channel that's a regular in the chat. That's also from South Africa. Hey man,
Yes.
hey man, shout out to South Africa. Tell your friends
Tell 'em.
subscribe. All right,
They be representing.
They represent. Hey, shout out to you. We got Shaheen. Shaheen's over what? He's in Iran, right?
I believe so. Yeah.
But I don't know. I would ask Shaheen where he's from, but it's probably like 2:00 in the morning where he's at.
Mm-hmm.
He gets about odd hours to watch this show. So shout out to you.
Going to France and seeing PSG sounds like a much better trip than coming to the US. Honestly.
But apparently he had it in mind, and it's something that he wanted to do. Now, my thing is, if you want to see Lamar play in Baltimore, you might want to do it this upcoming season.
Yeah,
and not hold on because we don't know what's going to happen in 23.
Or wait until you go to Miami. It's warmer weather.
Listen, you don't want to go.
Facts.
All right.
Let me start talking about this.
Wait a minute.
Listen. Go to Paris. Watch Neymar and Mbappe and all that. You're gonna have a fantastic time. Man.
Listen, I know about those soccer hooligans. Okay, you might be putting him in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
No, those soccer hooligans, they're in England.
Listen, soccer fans are the most violent human beings on the face of the earth.
In
they
England,
will bring grenades to games.
They sure will in England.
Yeah. Who was it? We did a show on that. Who was it that they had to bring out
it was Liverpool because that one was in France, I believe. But it was Liverpool. They came over for the game. And they were out there tear gassing them because they don't know how to act. I'm not going to be on the side of
they said back up, gas them now.
bringing out the toys like that. But I mean, y'all do it all the time.
You will never get that in Baltimore.
Hey, shout out to Miami.
I know, right?
Appreciate it.
No tear gas.
Miami. No tear gas. They go straight to the bullets, man.
Yeah.
Antonio wants to know what the team did after the last Super Bowl told you everything you needed to know about the team. Yes.
Yeah. About John Harbaugh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He won a Super Bowl. And he said, "We're doing it my way, and you can't tell me nothing."
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they said Anquan Bolden cost too much at $3 million and traded him to San Francisco.
It had nothing to do with the cost. They just didn't want Anquan. They didn't want Anquan. They didn't want Ed Reed. They didn't want Ray. They didn't want any strong. Think about it. Since that team, we haven't had any strong personalities in there. Even though they keep saying we need to have a leader. We need to have a leader. Harbaugh does not want that. He doesn't want any vocal leader. He doesn't want anybody that will speak out. He doesn't want anybody that will challenge him.
Yeah.
So you get Patrick Queen. Okay, let's see what we got here. Danny says 80 in the chat. Hit the like button. Yes.
Unnecessary. My goodness.
But it's the truth, though.
Is it though?
It is. It is, bro. Name one person.
No, I'm saying, like, is that why they got Patrick Queen though, or is it because they thought he could cover?
I didn't say that's why. I said that's how you get Patrick Queen.
No, he said that's how. Right. He was a talented follower. So.
Well, okay, but T. Higgins isn't outspoken, and that was the other option there.
But
right?
but drafting offense versus drafting defense, we already know which direction they're going to go.
The way we're supposed to build our team, we want that tough defense and run the ball, right? We want that physicality. That's what they say. But who on this defense is really that thumper? Who? Never mind that. Who's a playmaker? Who's that guy that you look at? Like we had Reed, Lewis, Nada, Suggs. Like who's that guy on the team? You're just like, boy, I'm glad we got him.
Well, it was Marcus Peters, but he's not a physical kind of playmaker.
I like Marcus Peters. He's nothing close to those guys that we're talking about. And it's hard to compare him to all-time greats. I get that. But we're talking about like 40 some odd draft picks and all your cap in the last 4 years going towards defense. And this is what we have to show for it.
You're also talking about a league that doesn't want players like those anymore, though. So I mean, he is a playmaker, but the league doesn't want guys getting absolutely blown up coming across the middle anymore. They want guys catching the ball in stride and running after the catch.
No, I understand that. I understand a part of it, but look, who's that guy that Dallas drafted? I keep forgetting his name.
Micah Parsons.
Micah Parsons, man.
Oh,
no, the good one, Hendo.
Listen, they ain't no Micah Parsons on this team.
That's true.
No.
You know what I'm saying? There's no chase.
Wait, hold on. Owe is that a generational talent and immediate superstar?
If you listen to Ravens fans,
let me tell you something. Michael Parsons was drafted as a middle linebacker and was like number 4 in the league in sacks. They decided halfway through the season, hey, try out edge rusher.
And he didn't even sacks. He didn't even pass rush most of the time. He played middle linebacker. Man. So that lets you know his talent level compared to what we put on the field. But Owe got 5 sacks.
Sure, 5.5, I believe.
Oh, I'm sorry, 5.5. Davon.
Hey, what's going on? Says, wow, I'm just seeing this. Davon,
how be in that Discord, Davon?
Yeah. Yes, it's a good time to plug. It's a good time to plug some of our stuff, right? We have a Discord channel. If you don't want to miss any of our live stuff, because YouTube is not reliable, right? Mm-hmm. We have a Discord channel. How do you join the Discord? Well, right below me, right down there, patreon.com/LBHTShow. Okay, for as little as $3 a month, or about $30 a year, because they have the annual fee. We want to pay it all up front, like our big brother. You can do that. We also have 2 more tiers. B, tell them about the tiers real quick.
Yeah, so we have the $3 tier that gets you into the NFL Pick'em League. We have the $10 tier that gets you the LBHT Crew Coin. It gets you into our Fantasy Football League. It gets you the ability to request specific content, videos or articles that you on any sports topic that you'd like. Then we have the $20 tier, which is a combined tier for this show and our other show, Ring Kings Podcast, that we do with our friend OTR Mike. And that gets you everything that I just mentioned, as well as the custom poker deck featuring our top 25 fighters of all time. And I found it. So there it is.
All right, there it is. And also, like B said, our other podcast, if you're into boxing, Ring Kings Podcast, we do that with our friend OTR Mike. Shout out to OTR Mike. He's on vacation, and happy birthday to his wife. It's her birthday, so they decided to go.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Yes, they decided to go live it up in Vegas. So enjoy. Also, the merch. If you like what I'm wearing there, you like that? That's where you can find it. Okay. Yep, that is Lamar Jackson. Hashtag 8 is the way. If you look at the hashtags I put in a lot of these descriptions talking about Lamar Jackson, 8 is the way. If you ever see that on Twitter, that's ours. Okay?
That is not Lamar Jackson. That is a generic Star Wars looking character.
That's Jamar Laxon. Jamar Laxon.
Whose favorite number is 8.
Right.
LBHTShow.com/shop.
And you are Garnet's lawyer.
Also, if you're watching on YouTube and you're looking right below, we have a merch shelf, right? You like, yes. If you're not quite sure what it is, right? You're like, what is that? Let me show you. Let me bring it up on screen right there. All right, that's it. Hold on, let me bring it up in the. There you go. That's a better view. All right, that's the design. Our Baltimore Ravens City design, right? It's the Ravens wings in front of the Baltimore skyline with a map of East and West Baltimore. All right. So go ahead and cop some merch. All right. It supports the show. And once again, if you are new here, hit that like button and subscribe. If you are looking for a super chat, because they're like, man, these guys, they're high. I want to give them a super chat. Where is the super chat? We do super chat a little differently over here. All right. $sign LBHT show right next to Hendo, right below B. Right. That's our Cash App. Okay, and also that pin link that you see in the comment will take you to our stream elements. Both ways, you can leave a donation, leave a comment, and you get a nice little animation right next to my face. All right, appreciate you guys. Let's read some more comments. Oh, Chris White says always mid. Ooh, he might be right. I don't know. We'll find out this year. I thought he did solid last year, right? What I'm just saying is when we get hyped up about these guys, like Micah Parsons, like that's the type of player. That's the type of player that I'm looking to get for this team. Like that's what they keep promising us. He ain't Micah Parsons, right? He might be good. He ain't that guy. I want that guy. right? I want Chase Young before he gets hurt, right? Like I want some of those players. Where's our Aaron Donald? Right? Those are the guys I'm looking for if we're going to go all in on the defense, and we're because there's no expectation of the defense right now to carry the team.
Wait,
had those guys.
We got Calais Campbell.
Yeah. What's up, Noah?
What's up, Noah?
Noah, you know what? I just want to say, Danity, you are 100% correct. The West Side is the best side.
I'm not putting that up. I will put this one up. I'm not putting up that other comment.
Over West is the best.
Listen. Lamar would never do that to us. Okay.
Lamar did that to quite a few people.
But not us.
Noah. Right. I'm glad to see you walking around free. Go check the Sleeper app. Okay, you got a little message in there. Go ahead and just open it up, hit that accept button. Don't even read it. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yes, indeed.
Okay. All right. Yes. Over West is the best. West Side.
I just said I wasn't putting that up.
Yeah. Shout out to East Baltimore. Okay?
Listen, East Baltimore stays open very late. You can get anything you want 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. I give them that. They never close. They're like Vegas.
Attitude Pop says Steve Young said Lamar can be the best player ever and QB if he wasn't with the Ravens. Yeah, he basically did. Steve Young needs to be Lamar's mentor. I know Mike Vick already is, but another one couldn't hurt. He doesn't need anybody to mentor him. He has a good group of people around him. I think they're doing a great job mentoring him. He puts in the work in the offseason. He has a QB coach that worked with Tom Brady and a lot of other top quarterbacks. He's doing everything you want your franchise quarterback to do. It shows in the offseason. It shows on the field. There's no negatives to giving him everything that he wants. He knows you show that he's responsible. He doesn't get in trouble, obviously. And he put in the work. He shows up prepared every time. So give him his money. You have quarterbacks to do a lot less and get that money. Just Alice says, I'm originally from Lexington Terrace and then West North Ave office.
Off Dukeland.
Dukeland off Street. Dukeland. Okay. Okay. All right. Man, just Aloe, man. He was there when they just started redlining.
I thought you were gonna say building, but
no, just Aloe was there when they built Memorial Stadium.
When they literally drew red lines on the street.
No, the Rams are not done for the season. They're going to be off to a slow start. They got a couple of O-line injuries, but it was one game. Let's not overreact. Blowouts
at the beginning. Listen, what is the easiest loss in the world in football? Week 1 of 17, coming off a Super Bowl victory. That is the easiest loss against
a team who thinks they should have been there.
Right.
And it's favored to win the next one.
That loss don't mean anything to them. Right? A team like that, they're not even thinking about getting serious until like week 4 or 5.
Now, the way Matt Stafford played should mean something to them. But, they're all in. They got their ring, so whatever.
They knew what they would get when they traded for him.
Yeah. They
tried a no-look pass over the middle of the Cooper Cup. It was the most disgusting thing I ever seen.
Because he did it in the Super Bowl, so he figured now, I can keep on.
Awful.
Yes, Avon, that's Jose in the cake. That's right.
That's right.
Sometimes I like to imagine myself as Lamar Jackson, so that's what happened there.
Yes, attitude. He has elbow problems, but he also has non-clutch gene problems as well.
Yeah, mental problems.
Reading the field problems. That didn't just start.
Right.
And he's got O-line problems, and apparently he's got run game problems because Cam Akers wasn't out there.
Don't remind me of that.
Listen, they said Cam Akers hasn't broken a tackle since before COVID.
And you know what? I mean, they spoke true, but that's harsh. And my man had a torn Achilles. He's going to be fine.
But what about before?
You don't need to say things like that.
See, this is for you, B. See, Dustin says, "Hey, B, I heard Colin Cowherd say today that Cam Newton was not as physical of a runner as Josh Allen. I had to laugh at that nonsense. Colin Cowherd is just like, he knows what he's saying, man. Like he's a professional troller and he knows what I'm about to say is nonsense, but I hope you click on it. Right? That's all that is. Like, there's nothing to take from that. That's why we typically don't quote people from mainstream media, because they're saying a bunch of nonsense. It's not really worth repeating most of the time. Every now and then we will touch on something that's trending, but we try to stay away from most of that stuff. It's just nonsense. Danny wants to know, are we still expecting Lamar to play to his best ability this season? Absolutely.
Most definitely.
Oh yeah.
It's nothing. Listen, nothing will stop him from giving his best. Nothing.
Well, look, he's whether it's the Ravens or another team, he's auditioning, right? Like, you're a contract year, you get the best out of every player. So he's going to go out there and play like an MVP to make sure he keeps his value up. So yeah, no, absolutely, he's going to get the best out of him.
And how could you not, with the plethora of weapons y'all have put around him?
We call Isaiah Likely a star already. That's crazy. He's got Isaiah Likely. He's got Rashad Bateman.
They've got the nephew of the man who scored the most receiving touchdowns per game in Baltimore Raven history.
Oh no!
We got DeMarcus Robinson. Man, y'all move Prochet out the paint fast when DeMarcus Robinson had 1.5 a good play against four stringers in the last preseason game, right?
They stopped
all of a sudden, hey, number 2, guys, he's our number 2.
They got every type and age of running back you could possibly want. same thing at tight end. I mean, it's amazing. It's incredible roster building if you really stop
and fullback.
They only got the one type of fullback. It's the racist kind.
No, if you put Boyle in that category, because he's pretty much a tight end. I mean, a fullback right now. He can't go off of passes.
That you talking about? Surprised he made the team. That's that guy right there. Yeah. Nick Boyle has a long history of injuries, suspensions. He's been suspended twice for PEDs, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it was steroids.
It
was steroids. And they're like, keep him. Good blocker.
Look, and I don't have anything against Nick Boyle. I really don't. I don't. But when I see a player plant their foot and spin 360 degrees without moving their leg, I don't think it's a good idea to keep them around. Because I don't think they're going to come back 100% from that. I really don't.
Right? Yeah.
It's fun all the way around. That was very tough to watch. I wish nothing but the best for Nick Boyle, but I don't think he's ever going to be 100% again.
He's not. He's not.
They want to make me choke. He said, "All right,
y'all."
All right, we a couple more. We getting up out of here, man. We already went over an hour. We did say 30. Danny asked for 30 minutes. I was like, yeah, I could do 30 minutes. I can do 30 minutes. Man, we here for an hour and a half.
Man, Danny, we went 3 times as long as you suggested. I better get an email saying you signed up to Patreon.
Oh. Yes. You guys, I know you got $3.
I got $3 because I don't waste $3.
Yeah. I got $3 because I ain't spending it on y'all.
Wasted it.
Hashtag
Mikey.
no 2 hours. Thank you, Davon.
What's
Get us
up,
back
Mike?
on track. Hey, there he is. Says, wait, am I dreaming? Yeah, I mean, we woke up from a dream. You getting that nice vacation sleep. You just woke up.
Vacation.
Yes, well earned, man. Hardworking man right there. Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Danny. That's that Samuel L. Jackson as Don King response right there. Where's my money? I love you.
I love you. You're my brother.
Like, where's my money? You're my brother. If you have not seen Great White Hype, go watch it. It's a great movie.
It is hilarious.
Calvin Grant says, "What did we do with Devontae Freeman?
Absolutely nothing.
I think he plays as well as he could. He did solid for us.
He gave you everything.
Yes,
he did.
And now
Which wasn't much.
Yeah. He's out the league like he was before, just like Dez.
Do you guys
like,
Michael
say-
Crabtree, just
yeah,
like TJ Husmanzada? You guys even remember? Do you guys? How many of you guys remember
Zach
TJ Husmanzada?
Roberts,
Fourth
Yeah.
down drop.
Lee Evans,
Lee
and now Willie Snead. He just got
Did
cut.
Lee Evans play again after that drop? Do you guys see a trend here? This goes back before Lamar. Do you guys see a trend with the offense? We get players, and this is their last stop. Sometimes they already had the last stop, and we bring them back. That's right. Like it's always the last stop over here.
I've never started any Patreon before. I'm skeptical, like it's witchcraft.
Listen. This is just like our. And don't worry, Danny, because our older brother Al is the same. Is the same way, right? He don't like doing any automatic month-to-month payments. Good news though, they have annual payments now, right? So you got $30 and they give you a discount. So look, no pressure. You're a girl, now, right? Like, but if that's something that's on your mind, you want to throw $30, that'll get you signed up for the year. All right.
Listen, I'm a very skeptical person, and I'm signed up, and I'm telling you, it ain't nothing but fun. So the conversations that you see us have here, we have in Discord all the time. And when I say all the time, it's sometimes 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, and we are all on there just texting and just doing what we do. So the $3 is, to me, it's worth a lot more. Like,
I appreciate that.
To me, this has become a family. So I know you see us kind of coming together a lot, but listen,
it's
the personalities that we have, like this Discord turned into much more than I expected it to be. So listen, and it's like with anything. If you don't like it, you can opt out of it. You can always do a trial error.
Hey, but
I hear what you're saying, Danny. Like I'm skeptical too of any site or anything that turns my money into somebody else's money.
I start sweating.
Sound appealing, right?
Listen.
It's okay.
This goes for Danny and anybody. Like, don't feel any pressure that you have to spend money with us. This is a free show, all right?
Yeah.
What Danny does, it's all jokes. But what Danny does, she's a huge supporter of the show. I mean, she's always here. She's participating with all you guys are doing now. We got 60 people in here, man. That's love, right? We are a small channel. We are nano influencers. That's the technical term for us. You know how small nano is? That's small. But you guys make us feel huge, right? So thank you for the support, right? Just spread the word. That's everything to us. That's everything, and you come over here every week and you get us to do shows when we don't want to do any shows because it's Friday. But
it's starting to be a little negative. Let me jump in here.
First and foremost, we ask y'all to do extra shows and y'all like no.
Right.
Danny,
we already got your money.
That's the technical term. That's the technical term, Davon. It's nano influencers. We are nano influencers.
Like she is absolutely right to be skeptical because once you get in that Discord, we ain't doing nothing for you. But no, if you do want to help or support in another way, we do an audio podcast as well that's out on Apple and Spotify and everything. So leaving a 5-star review means a lot in terms of discovery and them pushing the podcast out there. Yes. Or good pods as well. You can leave a review and kind of recommend the show there, where we are charting on several different sports charts.
Yeah.
I like to think it's because we're awesome and not because it's a small community. But yeah, if you want to leave a review for the audio podcast, we really appreciate that as well.
Mm-hmm. Yes. All right. Okay. All right. Hashtag do 2 hours. We're not going 2 hours, right? I know there's still a lot of people in here. You guys are so
a lot of people
about this. I love it. This just goes to show how much this fan base loves Lamar Jackson, and it's a warning sign to the organization. This is the one guy you don't want to play around with. He is not like anybody else that you dealt with or any other team has dealt with. A lot of times it's a history in this league when dealing with especially black quarterbacks that teams can jerk them around. And the fans and the media will go along with it, right? Because it's that narrative of black quarterbacks, just, they're not great passers. They're not that cerebral, all that stuff. And, like, really, do we want to spend that much money on that guy? That ain't happening over here. Nobody's going for it. Nobody's trying to hear it. and they stay with the heat. And shout out to Rich Eisen. That's somebody I do watch. Rich Eisen is 1,000% in Lamar's corner, right? 1,000%. And there's a few other people in mainstream media that are in his corner as well. And it's not because they just had that opinion. It's because they see what was out there in social media. They don't want to catch that heat, right? So they say, let me get on the right side of this, right? I don't want that smoke that they saying out there. So this is great, right? Keep putting the pressure on the team. And this is what we try to do with our teams. B is a Panthers fan. If you don't know, if you're new here, B is a Panthers fan. I'm a Ravens fan. Hendo's a Ravens fan. Our thing is, yes, love your team, root for your team, but hold them accountable, right? So when you see us talking about the team and we're giving us honest opinion, we're not being negative, right? We're not being haters, but when they're doing something wrong, you have to hold them accountable. That's the only way you can get them to make those changes. If they really feel like, and I do feel like Siba Shadi believes, man, if we don't get this done and Lamar leaves, a lot of people are going to leave and I'm going to lose money. They're not going to show up to the stadiums. They're not going to buy. Whose jerseys are they going to buy? They're not going to buy Tyler Huntley's jerseys, right? They're not going to buy whatever rookie they draft to replace him's jersey. They're not going to do that. We have a legit star that's making us a lot of money, and they're being very vocal everywhere about it. So we can't mess this up, right? That's what's going to get the deal done.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got here? Big Red says, no, it shows how much we appreciate you guys and the content. Oh, thank you, Big Reg. Thank you for that, man.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say at the end of the day, like you're saying, it shows whether sports is all about loyalty, right? That's what all the leagues pushed, being loyal to your team. You're a part of the team. The team needs you in the stadium cheering to cheering them on to succeed. And if Lamar is not a Baltimore Raven, you gotta ask yourself, is this a two-way street or is it a one-way street? Because everybody, like you said, every single fan has said, you better give Lamar his money. And if you collectively, millions of voices saying, pay that man his money, doesn't move them to pay him his money, then what do you matter to the team?
Yeah, no, exactly. When you're saying you're a loyal fan, or you have the gatekeepers, hold on. Okay. When you got these guys out there trying to tell you, hold on, don't you criticize the team, right? They know what they're doing. They have more knowledge than we could ever know, and they say all this other gibberish, right? Look, respect goes both ways. Loyalty and respect goes both ways, right? If you're spending your hard-earned money, like we said, going to the stadium, buying the jersey, saying this is the guy that we're going to the games for. This is why we tune in every week. This is why we follow these accounts and everything, because we want to watch this guy. And they're just like, nope, they're not paying them. All right. What does that say about their respect for you? Right. So don't be afraid to criticize them. Don't be afraid to judge their work. Right. And don't listen to any of these people when you come across them. Don't listen to any of these people when they try to tell you, no, you should be grateful that we have EDC. He's one of the best. We should be so lucky that we have John Harbaugh. Man, get out of here with that. Miss me with all of that. Who was it? Well, I don't want to call it. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say. But I'll just say it's not a privilege to be a fan of any team. You choose that. Okay. It's a privilege for those teams that have you as fans.
Yeah.
All right.
And also another benefit of the Patreon, we save the name calling for the Discord. But, we're not nearly as polite in the Discord.
Not at all.
Thank you, One Session. Thank you. All right, we're gonna wrap it up here. Because we're not doing 2 hours, guys. We're not. One more time, if you're new here, hit that subscribe button on your way out. Thank you to everybody that's been hanging out with us through this whole stream. Yes. Hendo, thank you for coming through at the last minute.
Thanks for having me.
Man, we told Hendo 3 minutes before we came online, and my man's been here for an hour and 45 minutes.
Got him about that Call of Duty and everything, man. He thinks he's gonna go. He thinks he's gonna go back to it, but I think there's some Encanto in his future. Once he
Dos oruguitas.
All right, Hendo.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me on YouTube at Ravens Online Gatekeeper. I do a post-game show every Sunday at 6 p.m., so you can check me out there. You can also find me on Instagram and Twitter at rgatekeepers. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, and you can also find them in our Discord. Listen, this is the LBHT crew right here. All right, you see Hendo, you see Shug that was in the chat earlier. We got our guy D Weezy. Like it's we got Ferris. With the Let's Get Ready Network. This is the crew. You're gonna see a lot of us doing content together. Obviously, our guy OTR Mike, you guys already know, right? We already got another show with him, Ring Kings podcast. So check all that stuff out. Support us. And I'm gonna update our channel too to make sure everybody's info is on there too, so you can just go over to the channels tab and just hit that subscribe button. But thank you very much. B, are you ready to get us out of here?
I am.
All right, B's about to take us out of here. Y'all have a great night. Sunday is the beginning of the season of the Ravens. Yes, this was a tough day. We didn't get that long-term deal for Lamar Jackson, but Lamar Jackson is going to ball out. We're going to have a lot of fun this weekend, I believe. I believe it's going to be a blowout. And let's just hope it can carry over from week to week. And hopefully it's a magical season. All right. But
also the Panthers are playing.
Yeah, Would you like to talk about the Panthers beat?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
Go, listen, Baker's revenge game. We can have a discussion.
It's gonna be the best Sunday of the year.
Well, facts.
His best Sunday.
Yes.
Yeah. Baker's best Sunday of the year. My Sundays are gonna be fine regardless. I like watching football. I don't have to watch the Panthers. But yeah, no, they're gonna come out there and they're gonna put it on Cleveland, hopefully, and then the slide starts.
No, you play the Giants.
Right, yeah.
It's 2-0.
2-0, and then
I got 3 wins in a row.
2 up, 7 down.
All right. Danny wants some Panthers talk. No, not today. Not today.
We're not doing 2 hours, Danny.
We're getting out of here. All right, y'all have a great night. Maybe we'll see you sooner than Wednesday. Who knows? But either way, enjoy Sunday's game. I think it's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, y'all take it easy. Peace out.